y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I make my absolute favorite thing on the smoker, 3-2-1 ribs. This method is a foolproof way for having juicy, tender, fall off the bone ribs every single time you make them. This method takes 6 hours to cook. The first 3 hours, the ribs are sitting on the grill grates in the grill, absorbing that smoke and cooking at a low temperature. The next 2 hours after that, the ribs are wrapped in foil with a liquid, so they are basically braised for the next 2 hours. And for the final hour, the ribs are sauced and they finish cooking on the grill. To make these 3-2-1 ribs, it's gonna take maybe 5 to 10 minutes to prep them and 6 hours to cook on the pellet grill. When you're trying to figure out how many racks of ribs you're going to need to cook, you can approximate that each rib will feed about 3 people. To make these ribs, you're only gonna need a couple of ingredients. You're gonna need a rack of ribs, some mustard that I use as a binder to help my seasonings stay on the meat, and trust me, you cannot taste the mustard. So if you're not a mustard fan, I can promise you, you will not taste it. And lastly, you're gonna need your favorite barbecue rubs. Since I'm doing 2 different racks of ribs today, I am using 2 different seasonings. Right now, I have my pellet grill outside, preheating to 225 degrees. So let's get these out of the package and ready to go on the grill. The first step in preparing your ribs is removing the membrane that is on the back side of the ribs. If you leave this on while you cook, it's gonna become leathery and tough, and it's just gonna make your meat not as tender. So all you're going to need to do to get this off is you can use the edge of a knife, slide it under the membrane, and create yourself a little bit of a lip. Grab it with a paper towel and just slowly rip all of it off. Once the membrane is removed, I'm gonna go in with my mustard and slather the ribs with a coat of mustard. After that, I'm gonna go in with my barbecue seasonings and sprinkle the seasonings completely covering the ribs. Once you get your rib rub on there, your ribs are ready to go on the grill. Like I mentioned, I have my smoker preheated to 225 degrees. So we're gonna open this up and throw these ribs right on the bottom rack of this grill. I'm just gonna set these ribs directly on this bottom rack. And they're gonna cook here for the next 3 hours. We are gonna spritz them with apple juice every hour just to keep them nice and moist.
2 hours later.
After the first hour and the second hour, you're gonna come out here with a spray bottle full of apple juice and give these ribs a little bit of a spritz. Ooh, yeah. It has been 3 hours and it is time to pull off these ribs and wrap them for the next 2. I have a sheet of this heavy-duty barbecue aluminum foil, and I just laid it out on a flat surface. We're gonna lay this rack of ribs right into the middle of the foil. We're gonna pour in a little bit of apple juice into this foil boat with the ribs, as well as lay on half of a stick of butter sliced on top of the ribs, and sealing it up nice and tight. Now that the ribs are wrapped up, they're going back on the 225 degree smoker for 2 more hours. After being out here wrapped up for 2 hours, it is time to pull the racks of ribs out of the foil and transfer them right back onto the grill grate. Once you've got your ribs back on the grill, for the final hour, we're about to throw some barbecue sauce, baste it over the top, and they're gonna cook for 1 more hour. And at the end of that hour, these ribs are gonna be perfectly tender, fall off the bone, and absolutely delicious. And back on at 225 for 1 more hour, and they'll be ready to eat. Oh my gosh, y'all. After 6 hours of cooking, Our ribs are ready to come off the grill. And oh my gosh, y'all, I can tell you what, these are going to be so tender. I have Cody out here grabbing them so that I can get this picture because, ooh, they look so darn good. And there you have it, guys. That is how you make these easy 3-2-1 ribs. That makes these perfect, juicy, fall off the bone ribs every single time. If you have a pellet smoker, I highly encourage you to try this 3-2-1 method and enjoy some delicious ribs. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see y'all again real soon with another one. Bye, guys.